There we go. All right. I want to say thank y'all for tapping into Streetball the Pro. It is the ambassador. It's been a while. I've been away, and of course, Ballaholic is still uh, laying low, just resting till we go to UK. But tonight, I have actually, I feel like a brother of mine. You know what I mean? Actually, I feel like a friend because we go way back. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
Bizzle, you know what I mean? I have Bizzle on, which I want to just say once again, man was chopping up on the backstage, and I just wanted to give you flowers in front of everybody as well. I just say thank you for taking the time because, like you said, I said 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? But it's 10 o'clock.
Yo, yeah, you said 8 o'clock, but you left out the Pacific Standard Time. I said, then you sent the link. It was like, okay. He meant 10 o'clock. All right. Yeah, too loud. I already said I'm gonna be there. So
Man, I appreciate you, like for real, man. How I'm trying to think. So, for those who don't know, Bizzle and I go way back. So, before I was the ambassador, let me see. I guess you could say, I was Mr. Network. I was Pastor Robinson, and I was a hooper at that time. So, I was doing ITM inside the music in G1 at that time, and I met Bizzle. We heard your music, and we was doing award shows, and I reached out to you. That's during that time when you had the song with I'm saying with Jay Z, but confronting Jay Z. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
And so when was that?
That was maybe 2010.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
so
it was a while ago. I don't even remember what all I performed, but I ain't had that many songs, so I couldn't have went long at that time.
I'm about to say I think you did at least three. I mean, you was a
I
headliner.
think
You know what I
it was,
mean?
it was probably all mixtape records
Okay,
because I don't think I had an album out yet.
yeah. Okay, so see, we go what 13 years ago. That's what I'm saying. I've been doing the basketball part, yeah, for 13 years. So that's when I was ITM, the pastor part, where I was done playing. Well, I was playing basketball, but I wasn't in the business of basketball, and that's when God brought me over into what I'm now doing with the Admirals. And so this is the dope part to be able to catch up with you because how I tell folks, right, for those who have been following my journey, it's been 13 years, and with your God over money, how long did it take for you to when you started to where you at now? You know what I mean? So if it was 13 years when I met you in mixtapes, I know you didn't just start at that time.
Nah, I mean, well, shoot, I started like I wrote my first rhyme at 8 years old.
Oh wow.
Right. Prior to that, I was, I'd be in there. My uncle rap, right? So he would be playing the little instrumentals in the room. So I'd be in there trying to freestyle and all that. You know what I'm saying? Then at 8, I started writing my own. And then, when I was in middle school, he started taking me to the little underground hip hop club on Thursday nights. I couldn't go every time, but because mom's well, we'd be out till 2 in the morning on the school night.
Oh, wow.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? But I would go, I watch cats battle, I watch cats perform, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of immersed in it from a young age. But and then, just to run through the whole, I've pretty much played every position from I've been the guy who walk up to you in the mall with the headphones, like, yo, man, you want to buy my mixtape? I've been
You're
that
right.
guy. I was getting kicked out, you know what I'm saying? I done wrote for people. I done had deals on the table, been up in the labels, Warner Brothers, Geffen Records, Universal. Um, and then once I got saved, it was starting all the way from scratch, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And but what looked like, well, one, it wasn't necessarily just starting because I kind of put rap down for a minute. You feel me? And so, God just, I feel like he honored the sacrifice, um, and threw me in a little fast forward because between it might have been like 2009 when I dropped Explaining the Dude.
Okay.
And God starts sending people because I ain't had no money, right? I
Got you.
remember that was my prayer. I was praying that once I realized, like, okay, I think he really wanted me to be a Christian rapper because I didn't think I could be one. I didn't think I was good enough,
Oh, wow.
smart enough. You know what I'm saying? You hear these people rapping,
Yes.
John 3:16, something. I didn't know all them verses and stuff like that. I was mad rough around the edges. You feel me? And
Right.
so I ain't feel like I was quote unquote good enough.
Okay.
But God chose me to do it anyway. And so I remember praying and just being like, Lord, like I don't have no money to do nothing. I don't have
Right.
no money for marketing. Like all my money when I was in the secular side, all my money came from the streets. And
Got
I
you.
cut that ties to that money. And
Okay.
so now I don't have money to do nothing. You feel me? And
Right.
God started making it happen. He sent me an engineer. Yo, I want to mix and master all your stuff for free. Boom. And then so I started doing these mixtapes because I had no money for no beats. So I'm taking popular rappers' beats, rapping to their stuff and sending it off, and dudes mixing them for free.
Got you.
Then you got Boy Wonder, who produces, at the time he just produced for he's Drake's producer, but he produced for Eminem, all these different people. He reach out, I want to produce your album free of charge,
Oh, wow.
right? Okay, boom. Now I got beats, right? And then the homies Beans and Cornbread was out here. I went to high school with them. They was shooting me beats. You feel me? While they out here, they doing records with Paul Wall and Zero and all the cats down here in Houston. And so I'm getting free beats, and I dropped my first album between 2009 and 2011 is when I dropped my first album, June 21st, 2011. And so from there was some around there sometime after that. I ended up being out there with y'all. And I know it was that long ago because today's price is not yesterday's price. And I remember how much I got. That's how I know how old it was.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, yo, I got Bizzle. Before he was Bizzle, like Bizzle, you know what I mean? The price he's charging now. No, that is what's up. Like for myself, and I know it's a lot of other Christians. So for those who don't know, ITM stood for Inside the Music, and it was it was a platform that we had created for Christian artists, all arts, honestly. You know what I mean? And so it was something, especially on the Christian side, where that's where I guess you would say I'm the ambassador now. I was the ambassador then. Um, and what you was talking about and what you was on, it was like, okay, when you talking about being a Christian, you know what I mean? Like really understanding what that means. I think that's the big part that really got me was folks don't really understand the depths. It's almost just like if you would say the cliche or whatever it may be.
I
And some
think I
go
think
ahead.
people tend to treat Christianity like an insurance policy,
Right.
right? And so because I was saying I was Christian way before I really started walking with the Lord,
Okay.
right? Which Christian means that I'm following Christ. That's what it's supposed to mean.
Right.
But when I say, yo, I was doing this kind of music, and I'm talking about, all the stuff,
Yeah.
make and the streets was funding it, I
Yeah.
still believed in God then. You
Gosh.
feel me? I
Okay.
still was a Christian then. You
Okay.
feel me? But I wasn't making the sacrifices that it takes to be a real follower of Christ. I wasn't carrying my cross. I wasn't giving nothing up. I was adding God to what I already had going on because I didn't want to go to hell. So it was just I'm gonna do me, but then I got this,
Yeah.
don't want to go to hell thing over here. So as long as I do this, I'm cool from hell. But while I'm here, I'm gonna live in a way that will send me to hell and then use my get out of hell free card. And you know, that's a dangerous thing. And then, you know, once you start, half of us, we don't even get in the word. We go to church, but we don't read the word like that. So when I got in the word, it was like you start seeing scriptures like,
Yep.
So you believe God is one. Even the demons believe and tremble.
Facts.
Oh, so just believing that he's God ain't it, huh?
Yeah.
Right? Because the demons believe Satan knows that God is God. He don't follow him, though.
Right.
You feel me?
Yep.
So what am I doing different than Satan? You know what I'm saying? While I'm around here beating my chest saying I'm a Christian and, you know, got God first in your bio.
Right.
Everything else on your page is the devil's work. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been that, and just really coming to follow Christ, man. It ain't no going back.
Right.
And I don't want to be that anymore, because you can really not realize how far you're getting from Christ. You feel me?
Yep.
I use this analogy where, and I know I can use it with y'all because y'all on the coast, y'all got beaches. But you know, sometimes you go in the water, you go on the beach, whatever, and you don't even know. You look back, your stuff is way over there.
Right.
You don't even realize that the waves been kind of dragging you little by little. If they pull you slow enough, you don't realize how far you're getting from your original starting point.
That's true.
And so, you know, I'm over here living life saying I believe in God, but I don't realize how far I'm getting until it's so extreme that I'm out here in the streets doing terrible things and still saying I'm close to God.
Yeah.
It became painfully obvious, like, nah, he ain't no way you with this. You feel me?
Real talk. Like with that, I mean, especially with your stance in your industry, how is that? I mean, just in life, period. We already know, let alone in the industry in which you're in, which is the music industry. We know, and at that level, and the different people that you deal with and have the opportunity. Like, what are some of, I guess, I mean, some of the things that you do deal with being in the position in which you're in? You know what I mean? I don't know to say if it'd be from the fans or people that you're reaching, you know what I mean? So what are some of the things?
So one of the things is, as far as the fans, man, it gets really, it's hard,
Okay.
right? Because people scrutinize Christian rappers more than anybody else.
Okay.
So a rapper can get on his record and kill people for 13 songs, and on the 14th song he talk about God and it's cool.
Got you.
I couldn't get on my thing and talk about God for 14 songs and talk about killing people on the next one.
That's true.
I'd be a hypocrite for doing that once.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I said that even when I started early on and I went to Jay-Z, and people was like, "Oh, he said nigga, he said nigga," and it's like, you remember when I said the bar, I said the world flipped when I said nigga. When Jay said, "What's my mother effing name?" They just said Jigga.
Yep.
Right? And so now it's like, oh, so at this time I'm what, like 27?
Okay.
So you're telling me that you're holding a 27-year-old more accountable for saying the N-word than you are holding this grown man for saying all the things he say?
That's true.
Why do you expect more from me at 27 than you expect from him at 40?
That's true.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's because I've made this proclamation that I'm following Christ. And so now you got the people who also follow Christ, who always nitpicking, but then you got the people who don't follow Christ who want to hold you to follow on the Christ they don't serve.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And so it gets rough because you can't, at least me, right? Because some of these, everybody ain't official, and I'm not gonna act like they are. For me, I have to love the people I make music for, right? Like I make music from a place of love. So if you listen to my music, you should be able to hear it. You should hear it from the things I share.
That's true.
That really ain't none of your business. You know what I'm saying? But I share it because I don't want you to feel alone. You depressed, I gotta share mine. You
Got
struggle with pornography, I gotta share mine. You
got you.
struggle, I don't want you to feel alone, like God don't love you because you grew up in a home where my pops was an abusive alcoholic, bro. Like, I'm not trying to look better than nobody, pretend to be more perfect. And so I have to stay in this place. But then with that, by keeping your heart open, it leaves more room for hurt.
Yeah.
So fans leave, I'm unfollowing you. They flush you down the drain every week. And that'd be cool if I convince myself that they ain't nobody anyway. It don't matter what they think. But I can't do that and still make music for like I love them.
Right. That's
I
true.
either harden my heart and be
Yeah.
like, I don't give a F, so it don't matter what you say or what you think, or I keep my heart soft and say, I love you. And so when you be like, oh, I disagree with this one thing you said, peace. It
Yeah.
sucks. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing when it comes to the fans. And then just from an industry standpoint, man, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but bro, you gotta listen. You're gonna have to be underappreciated because
Wow.
people don't understand the sacrifices you make.
Okay.
They'll look at you like, first of all, when you're a Christian rap, the first thing they think is corny.
Yep. That is true.
You
Yep.
gotta like wrap yourself out of that box
Yep.
already. You feel me? But then it's like, bro, do you understand that I could be doing what they doing?
That's true.
I had a deal on the table.
Okay.
God was started working on my heart. The label, I'm sending them records. They telling me, nah, man, we need that. We're that gangster like that one record you sent us. Nah, I'm not on that no more, man. We need that gangster. So they want me to keep rapping about killing. The check been there. I said I'm not gonna do that. I had a conversation with a record exec, and he's really talking about people like, man, people are sheep, man. Just go ahead and And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, God loves these people.
Yep.
You talking about them like, forget it, do what you got to say, get it back, regardless of who it hurts. And so there's a lot of sacrifices that you make, right? We don't even have the same tools,
Wow.
right? Like, I can't even cuss on a record, and I got to make the whole record just as impactful.
That is true.
There's so many things I can't say.
Yep.
I got a way smaller vocabulary that I get to pull from and still be dope, just as dope. You feel me? But the sacrifice, one, we serve God, but two, we're making it for the people, because I don't want to be a hypocrite and make music like half the rappers will tell you, I don't let my kids listen to my music. What I look like if I make music for your kids that I protect my kids from.
Right.
You feel me?
That is true.
I can't do that. And so when you do that, married, about to celebrate 15 years of marriage, been with my wife for over 20, about to be 25, right?
Yeah.
Two little boys, homeschooled, straight A's and B's. You know what I'm saying? They in basketball, they black belts. You know what I'm saying? They acting, got stuff on TV. We donating $45,000 to build water wells. Look at all this stuff that it takes to still be looked at as corny next to the killer.
Yes.
Next to the killer that poisoned the community.
Yep.
Think about so when you were the one making these sacrifices and you got the people that you sacrificing for,
got you.
They're like, yeah, but I like Young Thug. I like, you know what I'm saying? It's like shoot, you know what I'm saying? So, and then and that's still dealing with the people. Then you go into the industry and people at the radio stations, it doesn't fit our format. People might be offended when they hear Jesus, and that there's a whole nother block there.
Okay.
And so people don't understand that the people that they like, they're being force fed. Okay. You feel me? Okay. And then people with positive messages like myself, more often than not, especially if it glorifies Christ, we're being blocked. You know what I'm saying? Like actively blocked. Gotcha. I had a blog. I had a song called Royalty, and bruh, they said They said so the song is about how telling the young, ladies like, yo, you royalty, you're a child of a king, yada yada yada. You don't have to show your body, whoopty whoop. They say they not gonna post it because I'm slut shaming. So
What?
so you can post sexy red, right? But you can't post me saying you don't have to show your body. So these are the people who are picking your leaders. They're controlling who you get fed, and you are riding for these people over the ones that's trying their hardest to get the goods, like what you need to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a struggle, but it's a calling, and if God call you to it, you know what I'm saying, He'll get you through it. So we still here, we still consistent, we still stand on business. You feel me?
And that's that part. If you call, what I mean. It happens. You have to be called. I'm sorry. What I mean. Really going through, and that's how when I transitioned over to where I'm at now, I began to look at the path. You know what I mean. The different things, like you say, um, the expectations, because you put on, you carry your cross and you say, this is who I am, this is who I serve, and so you looked at differently and held at a higher state, or what I mean, it's just different, right? And so I think that's even for myself, going through and listening to you, because it's one of those where I'm blessed to be chopping it out with you, and working with, not just say artists, but athletes at a very high level, at a pro level now. That still, we're leaders. We're people that folks need examples, especially when you start. When I say the ambassador for me is not just a street ball name. You know what I mean? Yes, they call me that for street ball, but it's when it comes to the kingdom. Why am I doing what I'm really doing? I'm His ambassador. You know what I mean? Ambassador
Mm.
of Christ, and so it's a lot to go with it, and it's a lot of, it's encouraging to talk with another brother to hear what you go through, and just you still here.
Look, somebody who understand that pressure.
Yeah, for real.
It's a lot of pressure, and a lot of it we not even meant to carry like that.
Yeah.
Right? When it first really hit me,
Who's that?
I was in Vegas. I got nominated for a Stellar Award, right? I went to the Stellar Awards. I went to the after party, like a RCA Records after party. It's about 4 a.m. I'm walking back through my hotel, going up to my room. 4 a.m. in Las Vegas. A dude sitting at one of the machines, right? And I've been in that field before. I think he was pimping, right? You know how they be having the females and you
Right.
feel me? He like, yo, Biz, what up, nigga? I love your, you feel me?
Oh wow.
And I was like, yo, it's 4 o'clock in the morning in Las Vegas, and I'm somewhere in some other city across the country. And I'm just thinking, not that I want to slip, but I feel like, dang, I can't have a bad day in the way somebody else can have a bad day.
That
You know what
part.
I'm saying?
That,
That's a lot.
yeah.
That put a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah. No, bro, that is that point right there in itself. You know what I mean? Like you said, because you are under a microscope. You know what I mean? In a sense, and I think that's my thing too. Like, as I'm starting, I guess, slowly but surely, people beginning to know who I am, and I think that's the difference, because the word talks about the fruit. That's how you will know. You know what I mean? I believe about a fruit in which they
Mhm.
bear. So it's a difference between pretending and being, and actually living it out. So, because you're going through different obstacles and things like that, to in whatever that we're doing.
And the enemy, bruh,
Bruh,
I'm convinced we ain't all fighting the same level of demons.
that part, real talk.
Like it's different.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I know mine's got they swole. They a little swoller than the average demons out here, bruh. You feel me? Because I'm out here talking about stuff a lot of people ain't talking about. And
Yes.
one thing that the Lord, like, I'ma say it. That's one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say it. And it's a lot that come with that. You feel me? There's a lot that the enemy wants to do to neutralize a voice that's so loud. You know
Gotcha.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so, man, you know, that's why I'll be like, hey, you ain't got to be nitpicking. I can give you some bigger things than the stuff you picking at.
Right.
Like, it's real. If you listen to my music, don't none of it tell you that I
Yeah.
ain't over here struggling. You feel me? I try that, and that's another way. That's why I try to keep it a buck in my music.
Right.
Don't put me on no pedestal. I'm
Please.
down. I
Yep.
can relate to all the struggles you got.
Yep.
We out here living the same experience together, and we all are putting our faith in the one who can do it, and we can't. Right?
Yep. No,
So
I agree, and that's what I'm saying. This is why this is a great just conversation, just being able to just catch up because it's those truths. You know what I mean? As somebody like said, that's what I was telling my wife. I was like, "Yo, you don't understand like where God is taking me. There's levels to this, right? You know what I mean? So, like you said, at your level, they are swole. You know what I mean? They're not along the way. You seem that they got bigger. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm at. Where I'm like, okay, well, I'm going international. I'm going places, and you
hey,
know,
and look, everybody throwing them stones, they
yeah,
throwing them from a lower level.
yeah, ooh,
And fighting up they little the teenager demons
yeah.
and poking their chests out saying you need to be like them. All right, wait till you get up here.
And see, and
You're
that's
gonna
bro.
get up here and get your head took off. And
I be,
mine is still on after 15 years, so I'm gonna need you to start me out. You feel
yeah.
me?
No, no, like real talk. That's something that a lot of people can only imagine. You know what I mean? And like I said, they can nitpick and talk, but until you live that, now you can talk to me. You know what I mean? Until you hear, and this is where you at. This is something different. And so that was just, like I said, carrying the name, the ambassador. You know what I mean? And being a person
Mhm.
that has a voice, and as this voice gets larger, like you said, the demons and the different levels they get bigger. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Because
you get too excited on the court. Oh, you the ambassador. I thought you
right,
look, bro.
right,
Look,
right,
I this podcast, they could watch this, see me do this, and be like, "Oh, look at that watch! I thought it was God over money."
right. No, I
You feel me? Like, and it's that's the battle because these people will cause internal struggles for you.
got you.
Like, I got into a thing where I didn't even celebrate my wins because every time people would bash me because you trying to show off, you trying to brag. I'm like, no, if God do something for me, I want to show it the same way he do for you. But the
Right,
difference is when you get your Toyota Corolla with your bow on it and you post it on Instagram, everybody's showing love. So
right,
when I get my BMW with my bow on it and I say praise God, oh,
right.
now it's a problem. You feel me?
Yeah,
Now, so because God did all it's like, man, it'd be so much. And we out here trying to do the best, I'm definitely be trying to do the best that I can. But once you realize like it don't matter what I do,
that part.
it don't matter. Like I could try to say it right. I'll try to over explain myself,
Right,
thinking like maybe if you only just understood me more, you would feel differently.
right.
Well, that's one thing that time has taught me. Now, some people have chosen to misunderstand you, and then they work from there.
Got you. Now that's a good point. You know what I mean? That's one of the things too. When we start talking about people pleasing. You know what I mean? At this place, this especially, I can say where you at, it's either or. You know what I mean? Especially being saved or not saved, you gonna please people because it's about self. You know what I mean? If you're not pleasing people, it's definitely not about self. It's about him because it's impossible for us in and of ourselves not to want to please ourselves. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I think that that's something that folks have to understand too, and that's why. Go ahead, Biz.
Look, a lot of these people are people pleasers,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they would be bigger people pleasers if they was on the platform,
that's
right?
true. Yep, that's true.
Because they do it in their life.
Yep,
But not only that, right? Because I'm not just bulletproof like that, right? I
right,
want people to like me.
right. Facts.
Like, let's not act like I don't care what nobody know. I do. So it means that much more when I have to say things that I know are going to make y'all not like me.
Gotcha.
That's obedience to God.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna say it anyway,
Right.
but it still don't feel good. Nobody want to be, especially disliked by people who claim to serve the same God as you.
That part, I think honestly, I have to speak on that one because I think that that's one of the things that get me as well. Because if you say we're serving the same God, where's this issue at? You know what I mean? In a sense where we're supposed to be looking out for one another, brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Uplifting and love is that's that part. He says there's discipline. If I didn't discipline you, I don't love you. So I think that that's the part, that hard part in a speech and holding people accountable and things like that. That folks don't. We ain't trying to hear that. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
that's something that we have to do out of obedience because we love them. You know what I mean? So I think that that's another point. Like myself as a coach, someone that is a mentor just in the business of basketball and wanting to help people. Well, in that, it's bigger than just helping them in life, in a sense. And we say in life to make a living. We're saying life starts when we leave here. You know what I mean? So let me begin to
Right.
plant these seeds and not just plant the seeds, but I have to be an example, right? And sometimes those examples, what I've learned, right? Those examples in those hard conversations, especially when you look, tell me this, right? So we walk by faith and not by sight. So there's things that God say, hey, do A, B, and C, and do this and that. And then there's a scripture that says, man makes plans, but God orders their steps. So it doesn't always work out in the way that we want it to work out, but it ended up working out some kind of way because God works it out. Right? Go ahead.
None of this was in my plans. First of all, I made a, but that's why I say God honored the sacrifice,
Yeah,
because in my mind, I remember praying the prayer like, Lord, you know how much I love rap.
got you.
I love music. I was just talking to my dad yesterday. He's talking about how I used to fall asleep laying on the floor writing. I wake up, right? Like it's all I did. He had to tell me to stop. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so to love this thing that much and be like, Lord, but I don't know if you still want me to do it. And I just want to prove to you that as much as I love it, I'll put it down.
Yep.
Just give me, you know what I'm saying? And it was what it ended up being was like, Abraham with Isaac. He
Okay.
went up to sacrifice, he put the knife up. God said, all right, stop.
Yep.
Now I see that you wasn't trying to withhold it for even your the biggest blessing from me,
Yep.
what you love the most. You was even willing to sacrifice that.
That's good.
Now we going, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it was with this music. It was like, okay, now I see you was willing to give it up for me. I'm not even gonna make you give it up. Right. And
Yeah.
so, bro, I didn't know none of this could happen, bro. It was like you said, he didn't show me the full picture. So I left LA, I left the hustle behind, all that stuff, scrapped my album. And some people don't understand how hard that is to do. Anything that you put the more time
Yep.
and effort you put into anything,
Yep.
the more you're going to be attached to it, right? You date a girl for 3 months, it's way easier to break up than if you date her for 3 years. Now try dating her for 30 years, it's going to kill you.
Man.
You
Talk.
feel me? And
Yep.
so when you spend 3 years, working on this album, we shot a video, we got the album artwork, and then you got to scrap it.
Right. Right.
It's gonna be in your flesh to make all the excuses why you should still put this out, and then I'm gonna do this.
Right.
But to dead it and be like, you know what, I'm about to move back to Houston. I'm about to marry my girl. I'll go ahead and get a job at Walmart.
Right.
You feel me? And with the heart of if this is what you want me to do, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
Because all the mistakes I made, that was me trusting myself and my own judgment.
Yes.
Hey, I following you can't be no worse than when I follow my own.
Right.
You feel me? I'm out there tripping. And so, this was all something that if I thought I was sacrificing it, God knew I wasn't. But it felt like it when I did it. You feel me? And so, man, when you say by faith, Bro, how many rappers has got a 15-year career, you know what I'm saying? And it's still growing.
That's
It's
true.
still, it's still, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I'm not Drake or none of them,
Right.
but my family has been fed for 15 years off of rap.
Wow.
That's all. You feel me? Like I don't gotta be Drake. You be like Drake, you get in trouble. You feel me? Like I'm
True.
operating at the level God need me to want me to operate at. And
Wow.
so yeah, man, that
No,
faith walk,
I'm sorry.
serious.
That's good. It's encouraging because I think about when I had walked away from basketball, the game, you know what I mean, itself. And like you said, what is it worth to give up? Are you willing to give it up for? You know what I mean? And that's what it was. It was a time in life where I'm giving it up. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. And like you said, let me go and get this job over here. And it was one of those. Let me get my UPS job and let me get my little fast food job. I got to do what I have to do for whatever it is your will that you're calling me to do at this time. You know,
Mhm.
so let me walk away from basketball because that was, I remember, a God for me at one time. That was my identity. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
boom, to walk away and it's dead. And God, like I said, now here you go. You know what I mean? You thought it was over, but now you're in a different position. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
now here we are, we're talking, and 20, 13, 14 years ago when we met, and God connected us then to bring us back full circle. And here it is, we're sharing stories where I'm like, man, I remember you on the mixtape. And I watched, you know what I mean, in the sense that you wanted to cast that I still be bumping to this day, you know what I mean? Where I'm
Mm.
like, yo, he's one of my favorites, just really standing on business, especially when it comes to the things in which we stand on as believers. You know what I mean?
Amen.
As an artist, like you said, that box of as a Christian rapper, that's why ITM was one of the things why we formed it, because when you thought of a Christian rapper, it was corny. You know what I mean? So to find a rapper who was really nice like that, that was a big thing. And so for you, God gave you a gift. You know what I mean? Just period. You know what I mean? And so
Yes, sir.
in that, like I said, because I think Lecrae had mentioned, I'm not a Christian rapper. I'm a Christian who raps, or I'm a rapper who's a Christian. My bad. You know what I mean? I believe in
Mhm.
that statement, and so I think about that as well. Where I'd be like, man, we have to understand God gives gifts without repentance. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
He gave you a gift, and you was at one time we would say basically for the world secular, and then He brought you over and He changed you in the midst of it and made you for His kingdom to preach the gospel. You know what I mean, to His people and to the world that they may hear it. And so when you look at it, you see how what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, but that's where God over money come from,
Okay,
because it's only two teams. It's only two sides.
that's
It's the,
true.
it's the kingdom of light and the kingdom of darkness. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And so, you know, you putting up as you live your life, you putting up points on the board for somebody,
Facts. Real.
one team or the other. You know what I'm saying? And so, a lot of times we we try to throw on a Christ jersey, but we still shooting in the other team's basket.
That's real
You know what
talk.
I'm saying?
Real
Like
talk.
look at what we was talking about. Look at what about it was godly.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man, it's a sacrifice, but at the same time, all of this stuff I would have. Hold on, because I want to get back. I want to get back to the point I was going to make. I got ADHD, by the way.
Oh, hey.
What I was gonna say is, a lot of us we have our gifts, but for the right price, we'll rent it out to the other team.
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? You cut the check, I'll
Yep.
throw the game.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of time we be on until the Holy Spirit comes in and gives you the power to
Yep.
stand on business. You feel me?
Hard.
Before that, you a slave to your flesh.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now you still got to fight this mug and crucify it daily,
Yeah.
but you ain't no slave to it.
That part. That part. And that's the key. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that you sharing that for those who don't, really understand. And what you're speaking on is understanding the spirit of God. You know what I mean? And when we're made alive, and that's what he's talking about, not being dead to the things of God, before we were saved and now being saved, the Spirit of God is alive. And that's what enable us to do the will, of God, as you said. He's the one who enables and give us the desire and the ability to do what's pleasing unto him. You know what I mean? So it's basically, as you're saying, is removing self out of the way. And I think that that's been one of the biggest things, especially when, and I always just say, especially, and I got to take that out of my vocabulary because it's across the board. It doesn't matter what level you're on. I can be on a low level, I can be on a high level, where it's without
It's
Christ.
being faithful on the low level to get you to the high level.
Right, and that's what it says. Being faithful over a few things make you rulers over many. You know what I mean? And so that's that part too. That I can sit and watch and say, man, I remember Biz. You know what I mean? When he was doing the mixtapes, now I'm looking at being faithful over a few things. You know what I mean? Now ruler over many. You know what I mean? And that's more than just when you listen to the spiritual fight. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, that's I think that big part because a lot of times we just want to take the principles. You know what I mean, of the word, but not understand the spiritual part of really what that means in our lives. You know what I mean? So I think that that's one of the keys. But no, this is good, man. I know I gotta let you go because I got you up almost 11
Yeah,
o'clock.
you sure told me 30 minutes, but I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I know.
I was letting it ride. I was looking like, yep.
Yeah.
We 11 over, but we good.
I love it, man. Hey, Biz, man, like for real. I'm gonna have to hit you up offline because I want to be able to do something. You know what I mean? I'm into basketball. You got music. Collaborate and figure out how we can do something. You know what I mean for the kingdom. So you know what I mean. I
Okay.
definitely reach out to you, and I appreciate you once again. Like I said, taking the time and just showing love. And before we get off, hey, any projects you got? Anything that's coming out? Any shots you want to give?
No project coming out just yet.
Okay.
And so, for those that don't know, I've really been, dealing with depression for
Okay.
for a while now.
Okay.
And one of the things, it really makes it hard to be productive,
Gotcha.
right? And so I I haven't been able to write in a while, right? And so even getting in the booth, and I don't know if you ever struggle with it, but it's like it's just hard to pull yourself out. Like I'll be
Okay.
going back in my room, closing myself off, being, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And it's really hard. So what I started doing this year was the stuff I wrote last year,
Uh,
forcing myself to get up and go and record it. And
Okay.
so that's how we got a couple of the records, and I just dropped the Poppin' remix.
Okay.
Um, because I see how folks is already starting to get with this political stuff and this presidential race and how they treating each other and all this stuff. So, I had to pop out one time and just let my voice be heard. But we got more coming soon.
Okay. Okay. Man, like I said, once again, I appreciate you, Biz. And, we're going to talk offline and we're going to have to set up some earlier. I know you have a busy schedule, but maybe something next year that'll be earlier in the daytime. Don't have you up all night. But, man, definitely give your family my love. And I appreciate you once again for, man, just carrying your cross, man. You know what I mean? That's like I just want to encourage you and know that I will keep you in prayer, and I ask you to do the same for me. You know what I mean? As we on this journey, that's what it is. At the end of the day, I don't care, what industry or how we make our money. It's a tedious journey. You know what I mean? And it's a warfare, and so
Yeah, it's definitely that.
it's two sides, right? And that's the real combo. And you, my brother, and that's I know, you know what I mean. But we know how it goes down. So I just wanted to just be encouraging to you as you're encouraging to me and so many other folks. You know what I mean. So I just want to, give you your salute and just say I appreciate you for just like I said, carrying the cross and standing there and just following God's will and just trusting Him. So man,
Appreciate you.
Oh, you already know. Hey, we want to say thank everybody for tapping in the Streetball the Pro with my man Bizzle. Hey, make sure, I'm sure a lot of y'all already may follow him, but for me as well, keep us in your just prayers. It That's just every day. You know what I mean? That's worth more than money. I trust, believe. You know what I mean? So we just say thank y'all for checking in. And Biz, we'll definitely be chopping it up offline, just building as brothers. And once again, appreciate you, family.
For sure, for sure. God bless.
God bless.
All right. Peace.